Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, or good night. Wherever you at on the map, this your girl Chick, aka Gypsy's daughter, aka the beautiful underdog. You have now been tapped in with the Dean again. And this here is the Dean Method Podcast. Today I want to talk about visibility. Not the kind that people celebrate usually, but the kind that they survive. Because somewhere along the lines, the internet sold us a lie. The internet society, the algorithm. They tell us that if people are watching you and your name is circulating and your face is recognizable, that money must be close, right? Stability must be next. Security must be loaded. Visibility doesn't pay you. Capacity does. The most insane part, and something I had to realize honestly myself as a creative individual who is torn between knowing my worth, putting out quality over quantity, and not showing up unless I'm being paid that. I gotta say the craziest, most insane part is how a lot of people are visible, broke, and still performing. Still posting, still producing, still proving, trying to be the version of themselves that haven't really built the infrastructure to support. So this episode is about the gap, the one that nobody really want to sit in, nobody really want to talk about. It's the elephant in the room. The gap between being seen and being sustained. Quick little jab, but it's the truth. Social media rewards attention and not stability. It has no reward for the consistency behind the scenes. It has no reward for regulated nervous systems. It has no reward for the savings accounts and the health insurance and the quiet routines. Social media rewards spectacle. And spectacle is easy and cheap to produce when you're young, you're desperate, or willing to self-sacrifice. That's why we have so many in the social media world, society with high followings, but they privately unstable. Everybody doing anything to be seen, but ain't nobody getting paid. So you famous enough to be watched, but no money is behind it. You're admired, but you're unsupported, and you're envied, but you're exhausted. And the scariest part to me is them same ones gonna keep performing. Because stopping would force them to confront the truth. And the truth is that visibility without structure is simply exposure. There's a specific and very interesting tier of internet existence that doesn't get talked about enough. You're not anonymous, but you're not compensated. I don't know. People recognize you. Oh, you're the dean. Okay. They used to call you the chop chick, right? But people don't invest in you. Or your content is circulating. Oh, I see what you into. That's nice. That's different. What made you get into that? But your content, your labor doesn't convert. So now, to me, that's where exploitation lives. Because you got people and platforms that profit from your output long before you're protected by contracts, teams, or leverage. Here it is, you giving personality, insight, beauty, intellect, you giving all of that, and you ain't getting paid. Oh, you're being paid in engagement. But engagement doesn't cover the rent. It doesn't help regulate your nervous system. Engagement doesn't build longevity. Engagement. So we live in an era, in the internet era, the internet society, the people's live stream mood boards is where people are performing a lifestyle that they can't even afford to sustain. And the internet is calling this ambition. Everybody wants the lifestyle. I get it. I do. You want the aesthetics, the flexibility, the curated mornings, the I work for myself, CEO. I'm founder. Everybody's a founder in 2026. Listen, I've seen so many people went from CEO to founder once they found out that a CEO can also be somebody that's hired. So even the CEO can have a boss. Everybody want to be a boss. We got so many founders. Everybody want to be a boss, but don't nobody want the discipline that come before it. The boring discipline, the unglamorous discipline. Sometimes the discipline doesn't photograph well. The discipline of learning systems and being supervised, being a beginner in rooms that ain't clapping for you yet. You ain't ready. People want the outcome, but not the infrastructure. They want the visibility, but not the capacity. You don't even hold the capacity. You don't even have the character. You ain't even been online with the path that it takes to get to where you're trying to be. And here's the truth. And it's something I'm learning, but luxury is not loud. Luxury is regulated. And the real freedom comes from after structure, not before it. This is probably where the manifestation conversation goes wrong. And if you know me in real life, then you know manifestation is my thing. But I'll just say you cannot quantum jump without capacity. I've mentioned the capacity a million times on my platform. And I'll be happy to continuously repeat that term because it's something that I hold true. Capacity is more than just self-belief, vision boards, and affirmations. Capacity is regulated nervous systems, income stability. Capacity is identity maturity. If your nervous system is constantly in fight or flight, you will never hold a higher level life. And if your income is inconsistent, how do you ever expect to relax into expansion? People try to jump timelines without upgrading their internal systems. If your identity is still seeking validation, visibility will only amplify your insecurities, not your power. So we got a lot of people that want the upgrade. They want to jump timelines, but they haven't upgraded their internal systems. And then they wonder why everything collapses when they get what they asked for. See, this is the part that most people skip. And I know it's because it's the boring part. It's the part that takes the actual work. But people that are fluent with manifestation will tell you, we don't manifest outcomes. We manifest identities. Because the life that I want requires a version of me that can actually hold it. This is not a chase. I ain't chasing shit. I'm magnetic around this motherfucker. I don't chase shit. I posture up in position. I ain't sitting around talking about what I'm going to do. This is not me performing, although embodiment is a huge part. This is something that I'm building myself up from the inside. It's going to show on the outside, and I'll be able to hold it once I get what I'm getting. You know what I'm talking about? The version of me moves differently. She speaks differently. She rests differently. She decides differently. She doesn't need to be loud to be validated. She doesn't need to be visible to feel real. She doesn't need to perform to feel worthy. And until you become her, the outcomes will feel heavy instead of expansive. Feminine energy isn't frantic. It isn't rushed. It isn't reactive. It's contained. It's embodied. The woman who doesn't explain herself, her discipline, she lives it. It's the woman who isn't chasing visibility. She's building infrastructure. Peep my vocabulary. Should I have footnotes? Make sure you comment below. Should I have footnotes? Because I use some of the same words. And that should show you too that this is really like ritualistic in a way for me. See, it's the woman that understands that being watched is not the same as being protected. And that stability is the real flex. So if you're visible right now, but tired, if you're admired but underpaid, if you're performing but not grounded, this is not failure. It's a signal. It's a sign. It's time to shift from exposure to embodiment, from performance to preparation, from being seen to being sustained. Because the goal was never to be just watched. I think I can ask anybody that's made it, that's got a following, that's actually monetized, that's actually profiting from it. The goal couldn't have ever been to just be watched. I think a goal that we can all agree on to some extent, was to build a life of our own that we can actually live inside fully, quietly, without burning ourselves out just to be visible. So this is the work that nobody applauds, but it's the work that lasts. That stability. And if you ready to stop performing, or you finding yourself pulling back from the performance, and you and just start holding on to the life that you want, you're already closer than you think. This your girl Chick, aka Gypsy's daughter, aka the beautiful underdog. Thank you once again for tapping in and listening to me yap. You have now been tapped in with the Dean again. This is the Dean Method Podcast. Quick disclaimer, every class has a different level of an understanding. So I totally understand if anything said here or seen here is not aligned with you. This right here is for me and the audience that aligns with my sound, my voice, my frequency. So yes, again, thank you for tapping in and listening to me yet. This your girl Chick, aka Gypsy's daughter, aka the Dean, signing off.